What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How are you guys doing this evening? Welcome to a new episode of Phenomenal Views, and also, welcome to my location. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I have finally moved out, and I am finally in a place of my own. This is my new apartment. This is where I'm going to be making my YouTube videos from now on, and I cannot wait to get started on some new stuff that I cannot wait to show you all for the summer. It's going to be one heck of a ride. But you don't want to hear about that. You want to hear about what I thought about Alien Covenant. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is my review of Alien Covenant. If you do not want to know what happens in this movie, you're going to want to leave the video here in a couple minutes because I am going to go into spoiler territory, but I am going to go through a run-through of the movie and pretty much what it is about. And then I'll start talking about some spoilers, and that is when you need to leave the video. So, Alien Covenant is a sequel to the movie that came out in 2012, Prometheus, which is supposed to be a prequel of Alien. In this movie, we have a colony of people that are taking a more part of their colony of over 2,000 people. They've left Earth, and they're going to find a new planet that they have set in their sights. It is Oregon 46 or something along those lines. I honestly do not remember the name of the planet, but they're on their way there. All of a sudden, they discover a different planet. When they are awoken, they discover a different planet that looks inhabitable, so they decide, we'll go down here and check it out. And as when they go and check it out, that they find stuff, including the xenomorph, and now they must survive, and they must try to get off the planet with the rest of the colonists. That is pretty much it. That's the gist of the movie. That's the short version. So now I'm going to go into some spoilers, and I'm just going to tell you, I did like this movie, and I know there are a couple people who didn't like it. It is getting mixed reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it has a 73%. But when I went into it, I was like, you know, I'm going to go with an open mind. I did not grow up with the Alien franchise like a lot of the reviewers that I watched did. But when I first started watching it, I loved all the Alien movies. The only ones I have not watched is 3 and Resurrection. This one is better than 3 and Resurrection, but I know that's probably not saying much. But, okay, so, spoiler territory. Although, before I do go into spoilers, I'm just going to say, the acting in this movie is good, but there was one fault I had, and it is with Michael Fassbender. Now, before you start stoning me, just hold on one second. Michael Fassbender is a great actor, and he is in a lot of my favorite movies, and by a lot, I mean a couple. I love his performance as Magneto in the new part of the X-Men franchise. I love Michael Fassbender as an actor. Great actor. I loved him as David in the prequel Prometheus. I thought he did a great job as that android and kind of the protagonist. But this is, I kind of have a problem with his acting in this movie the same as I did with Daniel Radcliffe in the movie Horns. Now, for those who have not watched my review and what I'm talking about, in the movie Horns, Daniel Radcliffe is trying to do this American accent, and it's very, you can tell he's having a tough time with it because he goes back and forth between his actual accent and the accent he's trying to do for the film. So it was very distracting. And so I was kind of like that with Michael Fassbender because he plays 2 androids in this movie. He plays David and another one that starts with a W. I honestly cannot remember the name. It's either, for some reason I want to say it's Wallace, but that's not it. It starts with a W. So we'll just say W. Michael Fassbender. W. Michael Fassbender is playing an android because each excursion or exploratory each mission or whatever has to have a synthetic. So he is playing 2 synthetics. He's playing David and W. Michael Fassbender. In this one, he was trying to kind of do like a rough accent, kind of like a rough Western accent, and he would bounce back and forth, and it was just kind of distracting. I'm like, Michael Fassbender, just please pick an accent. I know you're a good actor. I know. And I know that it's difficult to balance an accent when you're used to talking one way, but you have to talk you have to talk another way. I know what that's like. I'm an actor after all, and I can do it, but it is tough to keep it at times. It is tough. So other than that, that was really the only issue with the acting that I had. The acting in this movie I thought was good. I enjoyed every single performance. One of the things that did disappoint me is if you have watched the trailers, or any of the clips on YouTube, you will see that James Franco is in the trailer. Well, this is another problem I have with the movie. That clip they show on YouTube is not in the film at all. James Franco is in the movie for like maybe 5 minutes. Is he in the movie? 5 minutes? No. Actually, he's not even in the film for 5 minutes. Maybe he is. I don't know. The point of the matter is, he's not in the film for very long, and I was actually kind of disappointed because I was really looking forward to see what James Franco was going to be bringing to the Alien franchise. I loved him in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and I was even kind of disappointed that they didn't do anything with him in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So the fact that they kind of set up this character that everyone who was going to be going on this planet was a married couple, I was kind of looking forward to that, but they didn't put that in there, and I don't know if that's going to be a deleted scene or what, but I hate when they do that. I really hate that they do that. It's what they did with David Cranston in Godzilla, where they kind of, not too much as an extent as what they did in Godzilla, but the point that I'm trying to make is I honestly didn't like it, and I wish they had done something else. So, in this movie, we find out how the xenomorphs are created, and I was like, okay, finally, we are finally getting this, and I liked how they did it. I'm not going to explain how they do it, but I'm just going to tell you, they do explain how the xenomorphs are created, and we even get something new, which I'm not going to call a chest burster, it's a spine burster, okay? We get a spine burster, and it was very gory. This movie is very gory, and sometimes in scenes, it's tough to watch. I am squeamish when it comes to the back, the eyes, or the teeth. Everything else, I'm good with. I can watch the remake of frickin' Evil Dead and be fine. But if it's the teeth, or the back, or the eyes, no, I'm like, No, I was sitting in the theater like this, especially, it was like when I was watching The Dark Knight Rises, when Bane picked up Batman and broke his back. I was like, no. So, yeah. This movie does have a lot of gore. I didn't mind the gore. I didn't think it was pointless. I like this a lot better than Prometheus. I like Prometheus, but I thought that this was a pretty good sequel. I've been wanting to know where the xenomorphs came from, what invented the face huggers, where did the eggs come from. But there was at least one or two questions that they did not answer in this movie, and I was pissed. I was like, oh, come on! You answered how the xenomorphs were created, you answered how the facehuggers were made, why not answer this? And so that I was a little upset with. And there was also, this movie is inconsistent. Now, what I mean by that, if any of you who have watched Alien, in the first film, when, the guy gets the face hugger on his face, obviously, duh. The face hugger is on his face for a good amount of time, for a couple hours. And when it falls off of him, eventually the alien pops out of his chest. Now, there is a scene where a face hugger gets on somebody and they cut it off. But the face hugger could not have been on the person's face long enough to get impregnated. And near towards the end of the film, they report, hey, there is a unidentified life form on the ship, and it had killed everybody. And my first mindset was, where did this thing come from? I mean, unless David actually somehow made another one, or something, or if he had one created that he stowed away, I do not know where this xenomorph came from. And so that was something that also distracted me as well, because I'm thinking, okay, we have seen in previous films that the face hugger is on the person's face for a while. I highly doubt a teeny drop could have been enough to create a xenomorph. Now, there is spores in this film that goes into the person's nose or the person's mouth, and it creates it from the inside. That doesn't take for long. That is faster, although if they had maybe done something different, I wouldn't have minded it. So that was something else that I really didn't appreciate. But I have been looking forward to this film for a long time. And when I mean this film, I mean the sequel to Prometheus, because I wanted some questions answered. I got some questions answered, but at the same time, a lot of other answers I did not get answered. And they also leave a possibility of, with Elizabeth Shaw, did she become the first alien queen? And there's even a little line in the film where David's like, they're waiting for something. Waiting for what? Mother. So, and that's there's no alien queen in this film. But there is a slight hint that possibly Elizabeth Shaw became the alien queen, and I'm not going to tell you about that because I want you to go see this movie. If you are an Alien fan, you might like this and you might not. If you're a fan of Prometheus, you will like it. There are some callbacks to Prometheus. There's a callback to the difference between David and the other android that Michael Fassbender plays. We do get a scene with him and Weyland Yutani, a young Weyland Yutani, talking with David and how David was treated when he was first created. So I thought that was very interesting. They showed just how much of a douche Weyland-Yutani was, and what the company, how much of a douche the company is. Of course, they're always shown how much of a douche they are in every single film. But guys, I'm going to give Alien Covenant a B-. The reason why I got a B- is because of the inconsistencies, the fact that Michael Fassbender was struggling with his accent, and the fact that some questions were answered but some were not, and I guess that might just be a personal preference. But go see this film. If you are a Prometheus fan, you will like it. If you are an Alien fan, I don't think that you will, but I would still say go and have a good time. Go watch this movie. Go watch how the Xenomorphs were created. It's fun to watch. I had a good time watching this, and I hope you guys do too. And thank you for sticking around for this video. Let's get this video some likes. Let's get this video like 10 to 20 likes. How about we do that? Let's strive for that. And guys, I hope that you are ready for a good summer, because I'm going to be bringing you some material that you cannot wait to see. Have a good day, guys, and I'll see you next time on another episode of Phenomenal Views.